Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is actually my second week of work, and given that my first paycheck will be at the end of this week, I figured it'd be a good time to sit down and go ahead and budget how I want to spend my income, right? Because it's one thing to make money, it's even more important what you do with that money. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we are on my budgeting spreadsheet that I created so I can update it as I notice changes in my spending, whether it's needs, wants, and so on. So first things first, very important to get my income in here, which this is post-tax dollars. My day job, my monthly income will be roughly about $5,000, and then the side hustle income could be approximately higher, but I'm just gonna start with $200 for now. I'd rather underestimate than overestimate because that can hurt me a lot more. Also, for those interested, I'm gonna leave a link down in the description if you guys wanna try this budget or incorporate it in your life. Feel free to use it. Alright, so here we have three different categories, which we're basically gonna break down what I need to spend money on, what I want to spend money on, and finally the most important one for me, my savings. So luckily for me, my biggest expense, which is rent, is actually pretty low compared to others. For the record, I live in Austin, Texas, and a lot of my coworkers, when I talk to them about rent, they're spending anywhere about $1,200 to $1,500 a month. So the fact that I'm willing to get away with $700 a month is awesome. I'm estimating that my transportation costs will be roughly about $150 a month for gas. This isn't just commuting to work and back, it's also involving doing what I do outside of work, whether I go hang out with friends, or I go Lyft, or I go to the grocery store, go to Costco, and so on. My phone bill is currently zero, I'm still under my family's plan. And then for my insurance and healthcare, the reason you see question marks is because I'm waiting to select my benefits at my company, so I will be able to have more accurate information when I choose those. Groceries, I'm estimating about $300 a month. I believe this will go either a little bit up or a little bit down because I'm trying to meal prep more and eat at home and eat healthier meals, so I wouldn't mind spending a little bit more money on healthier food. This is one place where I'm willing to budget. And then electricity, water, and gas are all zero because that's included in my rent of $700. Next in wants is, you see a lot of zeros. I don't plan on spending money on any of these things. I don't really want to drink. I don't mind going out with friends, but I really don't feel like drinking. I already have enough clothes, movies, gifts. I don't have Netflix. I do have Spotify and Amazon Prime and the gym. Those are my three subscriptions. And I actually have two gym passes currently. One is for my school, UT Austin, so I could access the facilities. And the second one is a rec center that's 5 minutes from work, so I can get a workout in before or after work. However, I am a big foodie, so one thing I do not mind spending money on is eating out with my friends. So I'm willing to allocate about $300 of my income to eating out with my friends. And this is because I think food's an important thing. Sharing food with others, it builds connection, it builds rapport, and all those conversations and good times and laughs that you have with your friends when you're eating out. If I was to set this to zero and just be a loser and eat at home the whole time, I wouldn't get to go out and make those memories. And when I'm out with my friends eating out, we tend to make a lot of memories. And just food is good. I genuinely enjoy eating food. It brings happiness to my day. It's one of the things I look forward to the most. So I don't mind spending money occasionally on some higher quality food so I can, get a thrill out of life, right? Now up here we have some assumptions. So mentioned the insurance and healthcare are question marks. I deducted $500 from my income that I'm hoping covers both of those things. I believe it will roughly. So that leaves that post my needs and wants, including this $500 deduction here, I have $3,172 to distribute amongst my savings. And the way I plan to utilize this is by putting $500 away into an emergency fund until I get about 6 months of expenses. Then I'll probably cut that out and shift it either towards investing or a car fund. And I want to put $500 into a car fund. My car has 130,000 miles. It's not too old, but it never hurts to be safe rather than sorry. And then my Roth IRA, I've been keeping up with this. I believe this is my third year. $583 a month to max it out. And then I also invest $200 a month into my Webull account, which is where I do about $5 a day into whatever stock I'm currently purchasing. Right now it's Google for me because I just really like Google as a company and I think they're undervalued and they have a lot of use cases for AI. And then I invest $100 a month into crypto, 50 in Ethereum, 50 in Bitcoin. And finally, I have a taxable account in Vanguard where I plan to put the other $1,289. This will probably be a good split between individual stocks and ETFs. If I think there's stocks that are a good deal or undervalued or have way more upside than they do risk, I would go into that. Other than that, I also enjoy my ETFs. Now, one thing that you will not see on here is my 401k match, which I deducted some money from my day job, and I have a 6% match, so I'm hoping that really helps with building my wealth. Now, for the fun part. This spreadsheet was modeled after the 50-30-20% rule, which means that you want to spend no more than 50% of your income on your needs, no more than 30% on your wants, and you want to save at least 20% of your income. So, after inputting this data of my budget and projecting how I'll be living my month-to-month life, we can take a look at these numbers. And I'm honestly very happy with this. My goal before I have it in this journal. My goal before I started work was to be able to save a minimum of 50% of my income, and the fact that I'll be able to save greater than 50% for sure. Like I said, there'll be some adjustments in this. It might go up or down some of these percentages. So if I can stay above 60, that'd be great. But I'm really happy as long as I'm above 50, because, like I said, you can make an income of $900,000, but if you spend 95% of this and you only have 5% to save, it would be harder if you spend 100% of your income. And my income's not the craziest right now. This is my first job post-college, but I'm glad that I'm able to save this amount and put it towards my wealth, because I might not see much of it now, but later down the road it's going to compound and it's going to help me feel comfort. I'm not going to have to be stressed about finances because I took the steps and precautions today to have a better tomorrow. With all that being said, I hope you found some value in this video. Leave any questions you have down below, and I'll see you next week. Peace.